And hello, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host Jonathan, once again bringing you my thoughts and review for the brand new Damien Chazelle film Babylon, starring Margot Robbie and Brad Pitt, and a whole bunch of other actors in here as well that I can't list off right now. But I finally got to saw this movie after Christmas, and it tells the story of old school Hollywood, back when it was silent pictures. And then we got to see the transition of silent films becoming, talking films, and how the actors at that point dealt with that. And then we got the story of seeing Brad Pitt, his character and who he is and what he has to go through with not only, he's got personal problems in this movie that he has to go through. He also, has to deal with the fact that his movies are from one thing, and now he has to transition to another thing. We also get to meet Margot Robbie, who we all know and love. That her character is an upcoming actress, and you start seeing her transition as well, and see how these people how Hollywood at that point really transitioned from this to that. So it's a very interesting film. It's a very long 3 hour film, and you get to see some interesting things in here that I honestly wonder, like, did Hollywood actually go through this, like, for real? Like, did Damien Chazelle take some actual information from, like, because there's a scene in here where you see Margot Robbie's character. She starts to um film a film for in the sound version, and she's taking so much takes and takes and takes. So you get to see that transition, that frustration that a lot of actors, producers, and directors in here. There's also an actor in here that's a producer that he struggles to get his footing into Hollywood. He sees the darkness of what Hollywood is, and then he ends up meeting Margot Robbie, and his character falls for her, and they become something. So there's that. Okay, so how is this movie? Because a lot of this movie technically bombed in the box office, but how did I like it? Honestly, I thought it was it wasn't because it was too long. No, actually, I take it back. It wasn't because it was too long. Because the longness to me didn't bother me. The problem of this film, it didn't. It felt like if La La Land was just a 3 hour movie of just Emma Stone trying to find herself in this world and trying to be an actor and try to transition from one side of Hollywood to another side of Hollywood, which was back in the day of silent pictures and how that transitioned into talking, and then they just dragged it on without no substitution of what exactly is this film about. That's what this movie is, because honestly, the visual, the cinematography in here is really, really beautiful. It has some funny moments in here too, and I enjoy that. I found some of the stuff in here that, like, with Brad Pitt. I'll start with Brad Pitt because I liked that his character is just that he's one of those guys who's he's big, he's famous, he likes to party and all that, but his whole personal life kept getting in his way, and it was just, I don't know, it didn't make a good story in my opinion. It was just there. While Margot Robbie's character, we got to see her do her thing, showing the struggles that she had to go through in this film to become who she is, and then it kind of goes, what happens to her when it kind of goes downhill. I'm not spoiling too much about it, but yeah, you see that struggle for her in this film. There's a crazy scene here where she's literally fighting a snake, which is a rattlesnake, for those who don't know, but it's in the trailer. So anyway, I thought that part was funny, but yeah, I thought the movie was just okay. It's not terrible. It's not, especially if you like the old school of how Hollywood used to be back in the 20s. This even had the era of when jazz was becoming big. We got to see some African Americans do their thing and how jazz became what it was, and I thought that stuff was cool. But everything else, even Tobey Maguire's character in here was just like, he played the creepy rich dude. which was like, okay, he does that. Okay, that makes sense. So it was one of those. He played one of those characters. I don't want to spoil too much because honestly, there's some stuff in here that's like, wow. Like I said, cinematography was gorgeous. This is one number in here that's like music. I thought the music when he was fun. I like the music stuff because it was like kind of had that jazzy, feel to it. I like that stuff. So I guess it wasn't. It's not. Sorry, it's not a terrible film. It's just that I feel like they put this movie in the wrong spot. Now I think they were trying to go for Oscars here. Honestly, the performance was great. Don't get me wrong. Brad Pitt, he's always great no matter what he does. His performance was fine. Margot, look, I love Margot Robbie. I really love Margot Robbie. I think she is at that point. She's already on that line to get an Oscar. She's there. She's already there. I just feel like this one might have made her step back a little bit, just a little bit. Because, when you want to mix an Oscar contender film with comedy, you can totally do it, but you have to make the characters interesting. And her character was interesting, but the story around it was just a little kind of bland, in my opinion. It kind of reminded me of when she was in Wolf of Wall Street. She crushed that role. And that had comedy elements into it as well. And it blended really, really nicely with, the dramatic stuff behind it. Rather, even though DiCaprio was carrying this film, and in my opinion, she was carrying this film, but it's just I didn't think it mixed. I didn't think it mixed well, but in my opinion, but what can you do? And the 3 hour time run, yeah, there were some moments where it dragged, but to me, I felt like okay, normal people who don't appreciate like movies like at that that caliber are gonna be like, yeah, this is too long for me. I can't deal with this. It might be a little boring for them, and that's fine. But for me, it did drag. It did drag, And I like when I don't care if a movie's 3 hours, 4 hours. If you are not if you're not capturing me to pay attention to and be fascinated by these characters, it's like, what's the point of making it 3 hours then? Like Avatar. Take Avatar. Here's an example of Avatar. Avatar had a great story, great characters, and every new character they gave us, I wanted to know more about them. In this film, yeah, I like Margot Robbie, but what exactly was her character? Yes, she's an upcoming star. She's very sexy. She has all that going for her. But it's like, what exactly is her character? And then we got a little bit more of that, but then Brad Pitt's character was just a little bit too not enough. We didn't get enough oomph of his character, but that's how it is. And I kind of think Damien Chazelle just dropped the ball just a little bit, even though after he made, he gave this lady here, Emma Stone, an Oscar and with La La Land, because I thought that movie blended, drama and musical elements into it perfectly. Here, I don't know, it just didn't really sit well with me. There was some stuff in here that I liked. I really liked Margot Robbie's character. I really I liked it, her stuff, but it's just that her performance was fine. It's just I wanted more. I wanted more information about who she was and all that. I feel like we didn't get that. We get it and we don't get it. So, and Brad Pitt's just Brad Pitt being Brad Pitt. So what can you say for that? And yeah, Tobey Maguire being creepy. That was just there. But yeah. But what can you do? So leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys think about this. Are you guys excited to see Babylon? You guys passed on it because it bombed in the box office? Because I'm pretty sure nobody saw it. You guys just don't care. Leave me a comment below. Let me know. Thank you very much, and have a good night.